What is this? You know what this is? Some lobster mac and cheese foo-foo on my chin. Okay. Reading up on some of the John, it's not McAfee, it's McAfee. John McAfee posts. Name, Ghislaine or Ghislaine, however the hell you want to say her name. Maxwell. Age, 60. Race, white. Sex, female. Release date from Federal Correctional Institution in Northern Florida. I think it's right in Tallahassee. Yes, it is. FCI Tallahassee. Release date 2037, July 17th. Again, interesting date. 17th. July 17, 2037. TikTok. No coincidences. When does a bird scream? Will she escape? Suicided? Mossad? Incoming false flag? Like clockwork? All of the above? The more you know, spelled M-O-A-R. Alice in Wonderland. And they've got a picture of the Federal Correctional Institution where she's at. Again, Tallahassee. Next post. X marks the spot. Again, 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 amen. And if you're interested, Tallahassee, Gulf of Mexico. Hurricane, what's the projected path? Current projected path, and this would be worst, would be in the center, right? The dark color. So there's Tampa, right? There's just generally where old Snip lives, generally speaking. We're going to get some outer bands for sure. We're going to have some wind. It's not going to be nothing crazy. My property will probably have some kind of flood situation like it did the last time we had a storm come through like that when we first moved in. And I put a berm up recently, kind of a makeshift berm thing, to not in anticipation of this, but in case the next time it happens, I want to see how well it works out. So, because I got that little pond that the Jeep drove into and totaled. That thing gets so full, it comes into my yard. It takes a month to get my freaking driveway back from being from underwater a few inches. So I thought this berm thing might actually, work over there. So we'll see. So again, I said I had a dream last video, very last one before this. Last night, and I am driving the semi-truck, and immediately I see inmates in their yellow jumpsuits who all had been released. They're all walking down the street. And again, I said I got the sense that it wasn't like, oh, they all got out the same day. It was like, we have to release them because of some issue. And they're out walking free right now because some major thing happened. And we had to let them go. So McAfee says X marks the spot. We've got a hurricane coming up that might, for all intents and purposes, might be pretty damn close to a bullseye of Tallahassee, hitting Tallahassee, Florida. According to, again, latest models, that is Florida. I had my dream last year, September. My son Ian was in the dream. Coastline, Gulf Coast, Florida. Hurricane's coming. You guys got to get back in the house, out of the man cave. You, Ian, and your friend out, back in the house. And I remember saying, because that hurricane's going to be here in an hour. In an hour. And it's not, this one's not going to hit Louisiana this time. That's what I remember saying. So his name is Ian, my son. We have a Hurricane Ian right now happening. I get these prophetic dreams and things that is insane. We've got a high-level prisoner in Tallahassee, Florida. And we've got a hurricane going that way. And McAfee says, TikTok, no coincidences. When does a bird not sing, scream? Will she escape? Suicided. Mossad. Incoming false flag. Like clockwork. All of the above. The more you know. Again, MOAR. The more you know. And I'm not 100% sure what that stands for. Is that like mother of all something? What's the R? Alice in Wonderland. Interesting times, my friends. Interesting times. So let's also think about this. Now, Entheos, today's the 25th. And FYI, we know 9/23. Yesterday, day before. Yesterday was 9/24. The two dates. Bolpolny. Again, listen, I will be honest. If I had not even $1, 50 cents for every time Bolpolny gave a date, and I've been following, his stuff for a long time, years. If I had 50 cents for every prediction time frame he gave, I'd have a whole bunch of 50-cent quarters, bunch of quarters. I'd have a lot of them. Nice guy, like Bo, but I'll be honest how I feel about it. Like, I'm pretty sure he gets his information from everybody else, psychics, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Puts his little biblical spin on it and goes, oh, here's what I got. 9/23 came and went. 9/24 came and went. So, I know what it's like to get all psyched up about something, someone's prediction, and big nothing burger. It seems to happen quite frequently, doesn't it? No matter what, right? No matter who you're looking at, listening to. So then Entheos has been posting, again, future marker 2 years ago. Watch for when the Italian government falls. Follow the events in the aftermath. And by the way, since the Italian government fell fairly recently, there's been quite a few interesting events, to say the least, that have happened. And now they're saying this right-wing female Trump version may win the elections in Italy. And the EU is already saying, well, we have ways to deal with that if a right-winger takes control of the government. Seems like they're mighty scared, aren't they? Rig for red, my friends. Rig for red. See something, say something. Note, this is what the press secretary... about exit ramps. So when we say get your feet inside the carriage, it means to stay as frosty as possible. Understand? Remember our tweet about exit ramps. Very few remain for they and them. And he posted recently about that. Very few exit ramps remain. You won't be able to exit soon, Deep State. Those of you who are willing to try to make a plea deal, I think is what that means. You'll always remember the 25th of September, Italy. National See Something, Say Something Day. Hope the good people of Cuba are taking notes. And by the way, didn't we say, was it Entheos or Ezra channel had said, the people of Cuba will be freed? It was one of those two. And so, it's just getting very interesting. Things are ramping up. And as Voodoo said, things that start to happen in September will continue through October to November. But anyways, my main thing here is we got a hurricane. Oh, tell me if you know the song. It's 3 a.m. Feelings gone. Storm on the loose. Something in my head. Something all passengers. Something is dead. Can't get my connection. Can't get through. Where are you? Help, I'm sailing to the twilight zone. Place is a madhouse. Why did I do all that just now and waste your time? Because there's a storm on the loose. That was it. There's a storm on the loose in the Gulf of Mexico, and it made me think of the damn song. There's a storm on the loose. Something in my head. Something on the operator, all circuits are dead. Why don't you just look up lyrics instead of making up stuff? All right. Golden earring lyrics. Twilight Zone. It's 2 a.m. The fear has gone. I'm sitting here waiting. The gun's still warm. Maybe my connection is tired of taking chances. Yeah, there's a storm on the loose. Sirens in my head. I'm wrapped up in silence. All circuits are dead. I cannot decode. My whole life spins into a frenzy. Help, I'm stepping into the twilight zone. The place is a madhouse. There's a storm on the loose in the Gulf of Mexico. And it's heading, current path anyways, it could change. It could change. It's to Ghislaine Maxwell's prison. And I get a dream last year. Then I get this dream about my son Ian. He's in there. We got to come inside. It's going to hit Florida. And there's an effing storm right now. Exactly a year later. Almost like a Q and, what do they call it? What do they call that? How about decode? Not a decode. When it's, oh God, I've used this word a million times. When it's, to the date a year later or 2 years later. Oh my God, how am I not? Spirit, help me out, Spirit. Spirit, come in. I'm looking like a fool right now. What is it? Give it to me. Delta. Thanks, Spirit. 2-year Delta, 1-year Delta. I have basically a 1-year Delta of the hurricane dream with my son, whose name is Ian. There's a freaking hurricane right now, a year later, named Ian. It's an important one, apparently. If it does end up going to the correctional facility. Okay. And regardless, McAfee knows. And they're warning us ahead of time. Truly amazing. And I'm looking at the general channel on Telegram, who I forgot who said you should watch that or follow that channel. I ended up following it. Could have been, I don't think it was MTOS. It might have been Ezra. CERN now admits they are communicating with entities from the other side. Breaking news, Italy's far right set to win the election. This is all the general. Just now, North Korea fires second ballistic missile into sea ahead of VP Harris' visit to Seoul. Seoul. Eiffel Tower turning off lights early to save electricity. That's as France is being gripped by an out-of-control energy crisis. Come here, Ian. Come here. Come here. Come and be on the camera. Mama's sleeping. Come, be on the camera. Come here. Close the door. Okay. Yep. Come over here. Now, I was telling everybody that you were beatboxing in the back of the car. And you were doing this. You try that? Do it again. Do it again right there.
Okay, help.
Oh, you want this? He wants this. You want this?
I want it.
Press it. Press it.
I have a running war with the media. They are among the most dishonest human beings on earth.
Again.
I don't frankly have time for total political correctness, and this country doesn't have time either.
Okay, thanks. Okay, we're out, everybody. I've said enough. What's that song about saying enough? I haven't said enough.
Yeah. First. That's what I want to do now.
Oh, Ian, sing him a song. Sing a song. What song you want to sing?
Bumpers.
Bump?
Yeah, bump.
Bumper? What?
Bump.
Bump.
Yes. Bump.
Okay, say this. Say blah, 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 blah. That's all, folks. That's all, folks. Where does he get his little cute good looks from?